I went to North American servers to bring you this beautiful build guide here from the #1 ranking experience gained player, and it's all about sentries. I haven't seen any sentry builds yet, so let's look at it. First off, he's using the electric sentry, linked to persistence, multi-sentry, quick attack, projectile acceleration, multi-shot, and lightning penetration. And second, he's also using Sentry Expert as a buff, linked to enhance effect. Other than that, teleport and roll as the movement skills, and spread shot for buffing all of the loot. As you can see, your sentries will be killing everything for you. So, well, after you place them, you can shoot all of the mobs, and you will get bonus loot from all of this. So that's insane. And bonus experience too. He's focusing on leveling up the main skill though. These are all still level 1. But you can level them up if you want to. And then I assume he's swapping in the Elite Slayer rune for boss fights and the projectile deceleration. And he's swapping out the acceleration and the multi-shot for bosses. He's running +1 level to the sentry here. And +1 level to the buff here. Okay. This one is not used. So let's look at the gear here. The most important thing is +1 to sentries and +1 to the level of sentries, so you have 1 more sentry in total. It's a gigantic damage boost. That's why he's using a level 5 bow, since damage and everything else doesn't matter. Then he's using a quiver with sentry attack speed, sentry damage, sentry hit rate, and experience gained. And he's using a sentry necklace with sentry damage amplification. That's big damage boost. Sentry damage penetration, also big damage boost. Sentry damage, mostly that. Very tanky helmet with armor, dodge rate, some elemental resists, and some chaos resist. Full crazy armor gears boulders, since you don't need any of the damage bases for sentries. And that's also with triple res and 1000 armor. That's crazy. Then +3 sentry skill rune level on the body armor. That's a really big damage boost as well. Probably around 10% more damage overall. Not 10% additional, but 10% more damage. So that's big. On a dodge rate chest with a lot of health and some resists. Sentry elemental penetration gloves with health and resists and some kill XP. 40% movement speed, so you can dodge easier. And some resists on the boots with the movement skill rune cooldown recovery speed, so you can jump and dodge roll more often. Double health belt with a lot of resists. The sentry damage rings. Sentry install speed. Sentry damage. Some stats. Sentry install speed, so this is really important. Sentry damage, also good. Sentry crit. That's mostly that for the gear. Let's look at the charms. Sentry damage, sentry attack speed, sentry damage, sentry damage, sentry damage, health, and sentry attack speed. And he's running the Mirror Cities at 20% and the Vespa's Blessing at 20%. So much about that. Let's go into the defenses here, just to see the comparison. Fully maxed resists on all of the elemental ones, a lot of chaos resist, a lot of armor, and a decent amount of dodge. I assume going fully into armor might be a little bit stronger on the body armor, but it's hard to get these chest pieces with the correct enchantment to be able to have the +3 skill rune. Okay, let's look at the talents here. First of all, 85 in, 215 dex, 200 strength. And then he's taking minion damage. Sentry damage, sorry. Sentry damage, of course. And attack speed. On the second one, he's taking even more sentry damage and attack speed. Okay, on the third one, he's splitting that into sentry health and health for himself a little bit, and some sentry damage and attack speed. And the second half goes into mana potion effect, so it's way easier to sustain your mana pool. And this also buffs the health potion. This here becomes really important in late game, so at first you can skip that while you're still leveling and just put into damage, and later on you switch into that. Okay, on the fourth one, sentry attack speed. Sorry guys, sorry. Sentry hit rate, sentry damage and attack speed, sentry hit rate and sentry damage. And the other half goes into resists here and some health. On the fifth, we are going into even more sentry health and sentry damage. On the sixth, another split, heavily investing here into the sentry attack speed and damage and amplification here, that's big. And some hit rate and penetrations. That is really strong as well as a damage boost. And the last 3 points go here into physical damage taken dampening. That's a big defensive node. Almost all builds can make good use of that. On the 7th, he's going into more resist and armor and physical damage taking dampening, as well as chaos resist and chaos damage taking dampening. Chaos resist gets more and more important once you start running tier 7, tier 8, tier 9 maps, since there's more mobs that do chaos damage and the bosses also. So that's good. On the 8th one here, we are going into even more sentry damage and shock rate for the shock sentry. And bonus damage against shock enemies and amplification against shock enemies. So that's good. And a crazy amount of health here. No more regen, so regen on your gear will be useless if you choose to pick this point up. But 12% amplification, that's insane. You get so much health from it. Okay, and the final talents up here are +1 sentry count. +1 count is gigantic boost of damage. Sentry uplift effect, that means the attack speed and the attack damage of the sentry get increased. Sentry damage amplification, that's just a big damage boost. And per dexterity he's gaining health here, with even more health, and some sentry damage, and sentry overpower, so that they can have the penetration and the bonus damage. And another big damage amplification. And last here is some more big damage nodes. Sentry expertise with pain. Pain is basically like a 10% damage boost to all of your damage. So that's insane. And closed range shot sentry. So that's really good here. I think that covers most of it. So if you like the build and you want to try it out, I hope you enjoy playing it, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. If you enjoyed this video, you can find even more content on my channel.